J.J. Barea will make just his 6th start of the season and just his 2nd appearance in the bubble so far. And he's in the backcourt without a Donovan Mitchell, without Luka Doncic in the lineup.
Well, it's different because those guys present different matchup opportunities. Defenses tend to skew towards their side, so they're going to open up shooting lanes and driving lanes. You're not going to have that. So you're going to see more typical offense, not so much one-on-one. But it's a good, I think, mix right now for both teams to kind of.
Jordan Clarkson with an early bucket, a block by Boban there, and we'll send it to Craig Bowerjack and Thurl Bailey. They'll have the call, and we'll talk to you at the half.
If he's on a smaller guy and had a nice layup there.
Jordan Clarkson, he's a high-volume shooter, Matt, and he takes his 2nd shot. Good look from downtown. But the Jazz, again, without Donovan, they're going to have to find some rhythm early and figure this out.
And Bowler, I like what
his goals, Thurl, when he started his 3rd season here in the NBA.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of having a well-balanced attack and the mat drive.
Marjanovic averages over 6 a game, and he shoots high percentage like Gobert. He's at the rim, 56%. Joe puts it on the floor, left hand, fires it over the top. Here's Clarkson, 3-ball bang. Answer foundation.
Well, the other thing it does when Jordan Clarkson is doing well, especially in the starting lineup, is it puts the onus that Joe gets a good start. Coming off the bench like George Niang, that he's got to stay in rhythm and hopefully be on this game as well.
Iron Man Joe Ingles, 375 straight games played. And Joe knocks down that 3-point shot. He's now 14 of his last 25. Tim Hardaway Jr. the rebound.
I think it's also guys in your ear, your teammates telling you, Joe, you need to get more involved. It might even be coaches saying, Joe, look for that shot early.
Curry with a run. Puts in his first bucket out of Duke. He was a question mark earlier yesterday, and this morning had some right leg soreness, but he gives it a go. Averaging 12 points on the season. Jazz come back with Ingles in the paint. Leaves it down low. Rudy with the archives,
you
my
got
friend.
The cassette at home.
Oh, yeah.
I know you do.
I got the cassette. Transferred it to a DVD, and then I lost it. Here's Barea. Stop, pop, no. Gave it away. Boban runs the lane. Run, Utah.
That's really good for Jordan Clarkson, too, because as a bench player, I know sometimes, because I came off the bench most of my career, that you're thrusted in the starting lineup, and it may throw your rhythm off a little bit, right? You know you have to produce as well, so it's good to see Jordan Clarkson coming out early.
Maxi Kleba, first moment.
Now you look at Oni and you look at some of these other young guys that are getting meaningful minutes, then you can really judge a player on what he can or can't do.
Tony Bradley getting a good look here in the bubble. Niang has had struggles from 3, but now rim.
They must know somebody.
I bet they do. Niang 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. 7-point first quarter. Jazz by 6. Jumper, good. Trey
in the last 2, now 3 games.
3-point play for Hardaway. Utah has scored on their 8 of their last 9 possessions. As Moutier controls out front, looking for a cutter. He'll hand it off, get a right back from Niang. Moutier, good mid-range jump shooter. Utah by 3. Drive it, hang it, score.
To just get chested up on the offense.
Moutier on a drive inside. Tony Bradley with the rebound. Back out front. George Niang launches a 3. Why not?
For the guys, we didn't have them throughout the entire year because of the stars, so remember that. And they were thrown into the fire. And now a week later, he said about Jarrell. He spoke a lot about Jarrell as well. But for Mie, he's just been efficient because he's keeping it simple. He's not overthinking.
By Utah. I want to check in with Matt. Matt, another stat we don't have up there, but just 1 Utah turnover, which has been an issue for the Jazz in the bubble.
As you mentioned, and it just shows you when you take care of the ball, you get a good quality shot every possession. Good things are going to happen when you have good shooters. And right now, the hot streak from the three-point line is continuing with the 9 threes made from the previous couple games.
Jumper, mid-range.
But, hey, don't sleep. The Jazz are on pace to shoot 63-point shots.
They put up 55 in the double overtime loss to Denver. Moutier back to work. Spins baseline. Beautiful move. Tucker out, and the hot shooting Niang gets a break. Trey Burke goes to work against Mie Oni. Nice drive. Oni in traffic, clears it away. Royce wide open look. 3 ball. Comes off to DeLon Wright.
Nothing wrong with that. Royce O'Neal with a wide open jumper there.
That's a Moutier.
Good flash in the paint there by Tony Bradley. Didn't get it, but I love when big guys flash in the paint.
Hardaway, he'll make you pay. After just one giveaway in the opening 12 minutes, all of a sudden a three-point game. Jazz had a lead of 9.
Yeah, execution is going to be very important. That's fantastic.
Deflected out. Conley with 10 on the shot clock. Back to Joe's on the floor with Clarkson. Joe drives, finds Rudy, slip slides and scores.
Offensive rebounds and set it back up. But Bowler and Matt, I'm really proud of that last group that was in there. I thought they did a great job on both ends of the court, finding their own shots, but also doing a nice job defending as Barea.
Tip your hat to the NBA to make this happen in the bubble. Joe, another steal. What a first half. Love it. Filling the paint is Royce. Back out, Conley, wide open look, 3-ball bang. Clarkson puts it on the floor, drives inside, puts up the shot, a little short, grabbed his own miss, and now the Jazz can play for the final shot of half number 1. Clarkson against Burke, pops the shot, I heard a whistle. How about another word? Ed Davis is on the floor for the Jazz to start this second half. Oni's got the loose ball out front. He's got terrific speed. And just
to be able to get beaten and then recover enough to get that ball without getting a goaltending call.
Tucker gives up a look and the Jazz have opened up this third quarter 8-0 run. Utah now 15 of 26. That's 58% from outside.
Yeah, I think he's been really masterful when it comes to managing his team, whether it's minute management or keeping these guys fresh and create overload. A lot of questions were coming in were, well, how are players going to deal with the 4.5-month layoff? I know they had a couple weeks of scrimmages and even a couple more weeks before that of practicing together, but that's a long layoff, and you got to manage it well.
Got to get George Niang on the post game somehow, some way. I mean, come on, what a comeback turnaround. He struggled in such big ways in the bubble, and the three is just... Now you talk to all the shooters you run across, like the Kyle Korvers or the Jeff Hornaceks of Jazz fame, and they'll always tell you, look, there's highs and lows in this game as a three-point shooter. George went through that himself, but you simply stay with it as we are just barely, not even 4 minutes into the third quarter, pardon me. Ed Davis hands it off. Tucker, step back, tough shot, got it away. Good
there, but I thought he may have been going forward just a little bit when he made contact.
Curry pumps up a 3.
Sharing the basketball, everyone's getting involved. I really like the way Tucker is playing. He's turning into a really nice player coming off the bench. Quinn Snyder can really trust him in the rotation if he needs to play in the playoffs. He's lively.
It's hard to keep him off the floor at times.
It is. And what I like about him is he's patient because he doesn't get consistent minutes all the time.
Saw that score on the screen a second ago. Phoenix, what has gotten into Booker and Rubio and the Phoenix Suns in the bubble? I know Chris Paul started that game for OKC. A number of players did not go as starters today. Ed Davis, nice by 2. Is an intriguing matchup with the two bigs in Jokic and Gobert for sure.
Yeah.
Curry goes back to work. Little stop and go drive. Beautiful pass. Baseline. Reverse it. Count.
Can keep it to a minimum.
Good look down low. Justin Wright Foreman 0 for 2 in 3 minutes. Trying to put a body up on J.J. Barea. And Matt,
I mean, we know him in Salt Lake land as a Jazz killer because he plays well against the Jazz. Seems every outing.
I talked about his 3-point percentage, 38% for Utah. But again, Jazz break down to Thursday, and then the playoffs begin on Monday. Big minutes for these young players for the Jazz. Tony Bradley showing some three-point ability. And
Jordan Clarkson with his hands on his head, but hey, it happens. Just don't let it happen too often, me.
Wright Foreman takes a 3 and hits it. The big factor in this third quarter, Hardaway's been held to just 1 bucket. He had 12 at the half on 7 shots. There he is, step back 3. At the horn, got it.
Two games that goes into practicing against these players, and they don't get a lot of time. And when you give them two really meaningful games, you're talking about the Spurs game where they played meaningful minutes, and then again tonight here.
By the Mavs, that's Antonius Cleveland. Trey Burke off to Maxi Kleba. Drive baseline around Davis. They go inside bucket. Nice block out by Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. He was a number 2 player taken back in 2012 by Charlotte. Lon Wright, nice pass inside. Give
yourself inside, work your way back out.
Trey Burke, nice first step. Off the glass, can't finish. Mione, a little flat-footed. DeLon Wright stole it away. 3 up and good. No Gobert, Royce, or Joe, that you're going to have to find some leadership because Dallas is a little bit more poised, in fact, right now than Utah.
Yeah, and to me, this is exactly what, if you're Coach Quinn Snyder, you want a close game where these guys get a lot of experience. You know, it's one thing of playing, and we mentioned just the meaningful minutes.
It's a 1-point game. Dallas with a chance to take the lead. They led by 6 early. Utah built up a 22-point lead, and it has melted away. And there it is. With cameras, with sound, Tony Bradley just through his hands. DeLon Wright saves it baseline. Gets it right back as we pass the 7-minute mark. 101-101.
I'm not sure Tony was expecting that pass from Mione on that drive movement. Doesn't matter which lineup is in. That ball has to move to catch guys in rhythm to score.
18-1 run. Matt, it kind of takes me back in time to one of your former coach, Jerry Scott Rogers. He wanted to take you on pickleball. He also wanted me to remind you, is this true, Matt? He beat you in racquetball?
You know, he did give me one game, Bowler. However, the video game thing.
For the game, an hour's worth of analysis with Jim Jackson and Kevin McHale on this game and the Mighty Suns. It's all coming up.
As well, jumper, good. And then in some pretty close games in the bubble, they beat the Kings and Bucks. They had some battles with the Rockets, the Suns, who continued to impress in the bubble, and the LA Clippers.
Yeah, Bowler, I actually think Dallas, you know, they have 2 more games after this left in the bubble, and then win the next 2. You know, there's a possibility they move out of the 7th spot, and then you don't have to face, most likely, the Clippers. So maybe that's, you know, an area of motivation for Carlisle right now on the Mavs.
Yeah, the far sideline. Jazz with a hop of their step right now, but Tucker took a tough fall. Down he goes, no call. Seth Curry in transition. Out in the corner, back on the floor, and the 3 ball is good. But much more active, more minutes in the second half. Dallas owns a 4-point lead as the clock ticks up on 2 minutes left. Hardaway Jr. He'll take the 3 over Davis. Bangs it.
But it's the time of the game where you just can't afford to let that ball go.
And Hardaway, with such those 7 years of NBA experience, has come on strong, along with Curry.
It's the way those threes came early, right? There wasn't a lot of dribbling. The ball was moving. Guys were shooting in rhythm.
I think, too, experience of Dallas on the floors made a big factor here, especially in the fourth quarter. Just like Royce or Joe in the second half. And Donovan Mitchell did not play today. Stay tuned for Jazz Game Night, the afternoon edition, presented by Siegfried and Jensen, helping injured people in Utah now for over 30 years. Final seconds tick down. Dallas with a big rally. 122-114 is the final.